హలో హలో మైక్ టెస్టింగ్ 1 2 3 హలో 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 వినిపిస్తుంది మేడం. ఓకే మేడం.
హలో హలో ఇప్పుడే మైక్ తీసుకున్నాను. వస్తుందా? Good morning, one and all. We welcome you all to the awareness session on natural cleanses impacting for a better health and environment, organized for the Department of Computer Science Engineering and Humanities and Sciences in collaboration with Prahari Trust. To begin the session, please join me in welcoming Sri Sailender Garu to grace the days. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to share with us your expertise on natural cleanses. Let me take this opportunity to introduce Sailender Garu to you all. Sailender Garu is a naturalist, a qualified MD in alternative medicine, an ethical vegan, minimalist, sustainable evangelist from Hyderabad. Living in coherence with nature in the midst of a city, he is leading by example by integrating the learnings and experience of 17 years in his lifestyle and living chemical-free. Sarvam Mayi is a holistic health space started by him to share his learnings and demonstrations through experiential learnings of Sarvam living a harmonious lifestyle. He has conducted over 300 sessions, both online and offline, for the past 7 years. He teaches nature-prescribed living and traditional food, the science in cooking with right methods, its preservation, fermentation, prebiotics and probiotics, and imparts his expertise in yoga, has curated meditation techniques, nature-based healing and cure, and reversal of diseases, encourages righteous living and welfare of all beings, natural farming systems, and permaculture. All his teachings are backed with scientific explanation, which empowers the learner to be self-guided and motivated to improve their overall health and well-being. He advocates and teaches the science in selecting raw foods and also science behind cooking methods, and with his methods one can save fuel and also retain more prana in the food. He has experimented extensively on microbial cultures which have been used by him to formulate groundbreaking natural preservations, making food bioavailable, natural cleansers for home care, body care, and environment care. Microbial fermentation plays an important role that benefits various sectors, right from health, food, farming, forest, soil, environment, leather industry, civil engineering, textiles, and many more. One of his notable formulations is biosalt and biospecies, and he also helped popularize bioenzymes. Bioenzymes are multi-purpose natural cleaner that has the potential to replace most of our toxic household cleansers. He helped spread its knowledge and popularize its usage. It has been approved by lab tests. It has shown to revive the rivers and being natural. It also helps by not adding to soil pollution. Sailender Garu, a computer science graduate, left his IT career to learn from his Guruji and serve by gaining immense knowledge in human value, food, health, and well-being. He travels around and has conducted a lot of sessions in esteemed institutes, colleges, schools, organizations, and has many accolades and recognitions to his credit. In addition, he lent support and learning to several NGOs, SHGs in villages. Sailender Garu also features as a regular guest and invited faculty at Aranya Agricultural Alternatives Permaculture Academy. He has appeared in various media platforms and is active on social media by sharing his learnings and creative awareness. With these few words of introduction, I invite Sri Sailender Garu to address the gathering.
So, Hari Om all, Namaskaram. Is it audible? Namaskaram, Hari Om. So, we all are living our life happily, healthily. Yes? Or some or the other problems in our life. Problems are inevitable, right? There will be up and down in our life. It may be emotional or health or well-being in the society, relationships. Some or the other problems will be there. Okay? But did the nature intend any problem for us? Health was a gift given by the divine. So there was a harmony which was intended by the nature to live our life in that harmony, and our purpose was just to experience that nature and be in harmony and be happy. Suppose a person who has some talents, will he be just idle without expressing his talents? He'll try to express his talents and he tries to share his talents, right? What will he achieve by expressing his talents, his skills? One may be a musician, one may be an artist. So he'll try to express his skills. What will he achieve by expressing? Anyone? Happiness. So when a normal person like us, when we express our skills, we get happy. Then the creator, who is versatile in all the capabilities, all the skills, so will he not be happy when he expresses, right? He can't just be idle. So he will definitely express his capabilities. So the creation is the expression of the divine capabilities, and he didn't just created the creation, he maintained the harmony also. If you see, there is lot of interdependencies between every species, right from the cosmos to the microorganism. If either one species is not there, there will be a chaos, there will be imbalance. Like how we are getting nourishment from the food we are eating. Food is not just from the mouth. Whatever we see, smell, hear, taste, put on the skin, everything is input for the body. The body will assimilate, digest and prepare its fuel for its existence, for its survival. Why? To express and to be happy. And living in harmony again is very much a priority, right? But unfortunately, out of all species, only human race has been given that free will and freedom. Other all species are living instinctively, abiding to their natural laws, but we misusing that freedom, free will, and started living in disharmony with the nature. and that's how we are facing all the imbalances. It may be our ill health, or it may be the natural calamities which we are facing. It's all because of our intervention not maintaining that harmony, right? Am I sounding good? Some meaningful thing? Now, how we are dependent on this energy, like suppose from the food we are eating, it may be a fruit, what all we eat, rice, roti, dal, vegetables, fruits, right? By nature we are designed to eat fruits, vegetables, which will nourish us. Grains we have been eating since past, but can we eat grains raw without cooking? No. So by nature we are meant to eat fruits and vegetables and some greens. Any other thing which we can't eat raw, it may be root vegetables like carrot, beetroot, or cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, which we have been eating raw thinking that it's healthy. The body has to struggle hard in digesting those complex foods. In fact, grains, though we cook them, it has still some complexities, but our forefathers adopted certain practices where they have converted that complexities and toxicities in that grain. The bird, when they eat the grain, they don't get any complexities because they are meant to eat the grain for propagation. When the bird is eating a grain, some seed, so every seed has a right to live again. See the nature's law, nature's how it has to balance. So nature has to provide food for the bird, at the same time the grain has to survive, the seed. Every species on the earth has a right to survive. Now there is a law called survival of the fittest. Whichever is strong can survive. Whichever is weak has to turn back into soil to again go stronger, to regrow, right? A plant infested with pest is not coming to the plant. Plant itself is inviting the pest because it knows that plant will think, I am not healthy. If I will be growing, my seeds will not be healthy, it will not be strong. So better I will convert into soil. So for that reason, it will invite the pest. But what we do, we put some pesticides and we'll try to kill the pesticides and break that harmony. So if the plant is to be healthy, the soil has to be healthy. If the soil has to be healthy, the diversity in that soil and the microbial activity in that soil should be healthy. So if there should be diversity in that soil, there should be diversity in the plants. So because every individual plant cannot take the nourishment from the cosmos directly. Like how we tune our channel, like entertainment channel, news channel, we set some frequencies, right? If we have to call some person, we will dial some number. So we are mapping some frequencies and we are getting that signal. Okay, like that plants also are tuned to certain frequencies. They can't take entire nutrition from the cosmos, from the nature. The plant will be getting nutrition from the soil and the cosmos, from the sunlight and moonlight. Where the sun is Navagrahadipati, it is carrying all the masculine aspects of the cosmos. Through sun, the energies are radiating on the earth, and through moon, which is the feminine aspect, head of nakshatra, Nakshatradipati. So all the cosmic planes, feminine aspects, are radiating through the moon, and all the metabolic activities will happen during the daytime with the sun energy, and all the growth factor will be happening through the feminine aspect of the moon energy in the night time, including plants and including humans and other species. Now, in the cosmos, every species, like it may be a star, a planet, it is radiating certain frequencies. One will be radiating iron or calcium or whatever we are naming. We have named a nomenclature for all these nutritive aspects. So they all are absorbing, like through sun and moon they are radiating, and plants are absorbing, and that is being shared among other plants through the mycelium fungal colony inside the soil, and with the integration of different species like cows or goats or other species like earthworms or other worms. They are all integrated to create that soil, the diversified humus soil, nutritious soil. So that's how the nutrition are shared among the plants, and that humus soil, when it is penetrating deep, is formed like over a period of time, millions of years back it started forming, and that penetrated nutrients has become mineral, metal and bedrock. Again, deep rooted minerals are being absorbed by other microbial activity underneath, giving to the bigger roots, and that nutrition is again coming back onto the earth. When there is a leaf fall, again with interaction of cow dung, when the cow is eating diversified grass, so that's how the nutrition are shared. See the ecosystem, like how interdependent every species is. One species waste is other species food. So they are living in ecosystem. We are also meant to live in that ecosystem, but because of our ego, we have disconnected from that ecosystem. Now we think that we can live without all these species. Now we have already started advancing in agriculture. Without these 5 elements, we are dependent on these 5 elements, Panchabhutas. Without 5 elements, we are thinking that we can grow food, and we are growing with artificial lighting, artificial chemicals, supplements or nutrition, like with humidifiers. We have created hydroponic system and many other systems to grow our food. But will there be life in that food? Maybe if you test the nutritive values, yes, it will have, but what is the potency of that life, prana, life force? So basically we are meant to get that prana for our survival, which we are supplying food. Now whatever, because we are part and parcel of that divine, of that whole cosmos, even we have that creative skills to convert that from that raw material into that prana. So now even if we eat some wrong foods which is not designed for us, we have a sophisticated system taking that nutritive raw materials and converting it into prana, passing through the sapta dhatus in our body. But the body has to pay tax for it. It has to work extra to convert that complex raw materials into prana. But if you eat a fruit, we get directly that nutritive values from fruit. Directly we get that prana. So this is about food, like to be healthy when we are eating food like fruits. So when we eat fruits, so we will get nourishment. So this is how we can get nourished from the food we are eating. Now the toxicity, whatever diseases which we are getting, there are only 2 reasons. We have named a number of diseases in the modern times, right? Every moment there is new virus, new diseases. We have named. As such, there is only 2 reasons for any disease: toxic accumulation and improper nourishment. So toxic accumulation, it may be from the food we are eating. When it is complex, though the body is sophisticated, when it is not digesting it, accumulating the complexities, it will cause ama in our body, that is toxin. So when the toxins, though it is forming the toxin inside the body, we have a beautiful elimination system. When we are overloading our system, when we are not allowing the body to eliminate those all toxins, then it starts accumulating, and that leads to disease. Now these are toxins from the food we are eating. Already we are in a polluted world. We are growing our food with all the fertilizers and chemicals. So it's inevitable to avoid all these toxins. That's why people started growing organic food again. Though food is organic, it may not be nutrient rich, it may be chemical free, because the nutrient rich will be there when you are growing a diversified crop. If you just grow a mango orchard without chemicals, it will not include that diversity, like how we have discussed that ecosystem. So that's how it should be. Now, okay, these are certain toxins which are coming. Majorly, these are still manageable, but majority of the toxins which we are inducing in our body is the pollutants in our day-to-day household. So to lead a healthy life, eating right, doing right, thinking right. So ahar, vyavahar, achar. These are very important. So out of that we'll be talking about living right. Okay, so we have a scope today to talk about how to live right. In that, the chemicals which we use in our day-to-day life, all the chemicals. So can anyone name like what all chemicals we use in our day-to-day life? Yeah, cleaners. Yeah, floor cleaners, AC, but still we are living in that AC, right? We think that we are getting fresh air, right? The gadgets, mosquito repellents, yes. So you all agree that we are living in that chemical world and all these chemicals are harmful and we are not able to come out of it, though we know that chemicals are harmful. But our civilizations, not just our forefathers, there were many civilizations, they were living happily and healthily. Like if you just read the history, we are nothing in front of them. The architectures which they have made, the technology which they had is more versatile. So now the chemicals like floor cleaner, dishwash, like these are to name a few, right? These all are causing harm for us, we know that. Now how they affect us? Low energy, diseases, frequent illness, how they cause? Because they are chemicals we are infusing, we get some allergy. And we don't name that allergy because of that chemical, rather we will go to a doctor and take more chemical again to suppress it. Our body actually is helping us to detox. When it is getting some allergy, skin rash or a cold or a cough or a sneeze, whatever toxicity is going inside, body is helping us to push them out. But we, without knowing that, maybe we know that, but we are used to, we will try to suppress it. Okay, if we just allow the body to work, it will just cleanse. Now when we suppress, it leads to further other diseases. So we eat wrong foods, so body gives some, we get some diarrhea. Okay, that is the body's reflex to push the toxins out, or we get sneeze or cold or cough. Now what we are doing, we take some medicine, we are suppressing. So when the toxins are accumulated, now there is a role of microbes here. We are made up of trillions of microorganisms, right? We are not just this human body. We are made up of different koshas. So in the microscopic level, there are trillions of millions of microorganisms. In that, there are good and bad bacteria, we call, right? Now, if at all something is bad, why will the nature design or create such bad microbes or bad creatures? Everything has a role to play. Like suppose a pig, a cockroach. Okay, in our kitchen sink, a cockroach will come. The moment we see cockroach, we have that feeling yuck. Okay, we have some resistance. We see pig, we have some resistance because they are in that drainage. Actually, they are helping us to clean that drainage. If at all there are no food particles remaining in your kitchen sink, why will cockroach will come? We have not cleansed, we have not kept our kitchen sink clean. There are some residue. So there is a theory called terrain theory. So there is any food that microbial species will come to eat. That's how it has been designed. So now to avoid cockroach, what we do, we put HIT or some chemical. What we observe, temporarily it will disappear, but actually if you see, they grow up. There will be more cockroaches. Now we put more HIT, again more cockroaches. Similarly, we put our mosquito repellents. Initially mosquitoes will disappear, but you see it will not work. So new repellents will come, advanced repellents will come, it will not work. So now imagine we have this room, okay, this seminar hall. Now we feel like we have fresh air, but if you just switch off the AC, just sit for a while, how do you feel in this room? Suffocated. And if you sit for longer time, smell, bad smell. because it's not been aerated, we are depending on some other gadgets to create that fresh air. Okay, so now this suffocation, why this suffocation is happening, why this bad smell is coming? Because there is no aeration, there are microbes which are dying. The life force which was there here, it's dying. So when there is a death, there is a pathogenic bacteria which will grow upon it to clean it up. So the residue, the reciprocation of that process is the smell. One part is the smell. So that stinking smell, suffocating smell. Suffocation is because of lack of oxygen, and smell is because of the dead particles which are being eaten by the pathogenic bacteria to clean up. So now who is the cause? We are the cause. Just open up the doors, allow the fresh air to come, allow the fresh sunlight to come. That's it. We need not use any chemical sprays or room fresheners again putting more chemicals. We are inhaling those chemicals again. So that's what is happening in our household also. So earlier we were living in a very well ventilated environment. There was a cross ventilation. How many of your houses has a ventilator now? You can't even imagine. Oh, very nice. So ventilator is basically there. Thank you. So ventilator is there basically to push the hot air out. So hot air will travel up. So how much ever cross ventilation we have, hot air will be holding up on this roof. That will have a space. Ventilators will allow that hot air to pass out. But if we don't have ventilators, this hot air will be accumulating, which will create an atmospheric pressure, and that will cause suffocation for us. So that will cause more heat. So we tend to put on our AC or some fan or some other things to get cool air. So if you just allow the hot air to pass, anyway the circulation is there, and now we don't want, we are living in 30-40 floors apartment, we think that we have fresh light, more light, but actually that is more harmful. We are supposed to live under the trees. So even if we are on the hilltops, there are trees. So we are supposed to live under the trees, but unfortunately we have developed ourselves and constructed a concrete pinnacles like more apartments or something. Now what is the solution? Grow plants in your balcony. That's the only way we can start with. It will have impact. A small plant will have a very great impact. So what happens when you grow plants in your balcony, indoor plants in your houses? The harmful rays which are coming, they get filtered and they come out, and that's how it will be helpful. So that is one thing. Excuse me. So now these toxic air, earlier our constructions, we were equipped with animals around, trees around, there was a very good microbial activity around. So we used to plaster our floors with cow dung plaster and all. So we had open drainage system. Remember anyone from the village, or if you had happened to visit any old type villages, not now villages also have turned into cities. So still if you see, there are some villages which has that open drainage system and all, it will not stink, right? Anyone has an experience? It will not stink. Even though we walk beside that drainage, open drainage canal, we will not get that stinking smell, because there are microbial activity which is helping to cleanse the phytoremediation and bioremediation. There will be many plants which will be growing in that path, and many species like cockroaches or pigs or many species which are helping to cleanse. So now the final system of the drainage, all the fecal matter or urine or kitchen waste or grey matter or whatever is coming from the drainage water, it is finally, it will go to the pond and lakes, and we were consuming the same water from the lakes and ponds. Now can we imagine going to the pond and drinking that water? We can't even imagine, right? Why? Because of usage of chemicals, we are killing the microbial activity which is actually helping us. So in that there are beneficial and harmful bacteria. So we are killing both. So to kill that harmful pathogenic bacteria, we are using chemicals. Now in that process, we are killing the beneficial bacteria also, which was helping us. So both ways we are killing them. So there is no microbial activity, more of anaerobic bacteria will grow, more of pathogens will grow, again to cleanse, to balance. That will create more stinking smell. So all this stinking smell is because of the chemical residues which are being eaten away by the pathogenic bacteria, and it is releasing the toxic fumes. Chemicals are made up of all petroleum products, which is again Rakshasa Sottu, like the property of Rakshasas. So if you see Urdhvaloka, Adholoka we have in our scriptures, right? So we have different Patala Lokas where demons and Rakshasas are there. So they are there to balance, as I was telling. So they are creating some balance in that ecosystem. Now when we are mining our gold, silver, steel, iron, petrol, coal, water also now what will happen to them when we are taking their position? Definitely they will try to again take back. So all the Rakshasattva is coming back. So only we have that polluted mind, more polluted mind, especially in this Kali Yuga. More Rakshasattva is there. Because we are taking their position, they are trying to take their position back. But earlier, we were having gold, we were having water, we were having petrol, which was there on the surface. Like how water was there on the surface. When we started taking, like earlier days, whatever we used to take, we used to return back. There was a cyclic system. Now we are just taking, example, gold. We are mining, but how much gold we are actually wearing on our body, how much we are accumulating and intoxicating it, making it like just putting in a garbage bank, really. It's of no use. Okay, we have some value, we have a capitalistic market now, everything we related to gold, but that resource is not being used. At least if you wear as an ornament or put for an idol, we can see that energy, but we are just storing somewhere. Even if we have some ornaments, how many we will wear? One set is enough, but we have to show, I have so many ornaments. What's the purpose? Just think, right? Now, but we can't avoid. But those days, gold was there, like resources were very valuable. They were respecting the resources, even to cut a firewood for their fuel. Though it was not natural, though we are meant to eat fruits, cooking has started long back, but they maintained some ethical values. So when they were cutting down the trees, they didn't cut the tree, rather they were searching for a dead branches, dry twigs, fallen branches, or they were catching, they were just plucking the dry branches. They were never cutting the tree because they treat it as a sin. But logically, if you see, if they cut the fresh tree, it will cause fume, smoke. So they can't use a fresh branch, fresh tree. They have to dry it. So drying will take longer time. They'll not have space to dry. So rather search for a dry branches. That was the ethical and logic behind it. So when you burn the dry branch, it will not create any smoke. So now that was the way it started. Slowly we got deviated from that harmony, and we started cutting the fresh trees, and it caused smoke, and we designed a beautiful what you call chulas, where the smoke will be coming out. Still we were intelligent. So now later on the designs were not very successful because earlier cooking was outdoors, later it was indoors. So indoors it was not very efficient to eliminate that smoke very well. So what happens, we had that many diseases because of that smoke. Now we have other fuel like LPG and all. We think that it's clean fuel, right? But the toxic fumes of that LPG gas, whenever we lit, even if you switch off the gas, still there will be some leakage gas, which is very toxic. And we get asthma. One reason is because of LPG. We are not aware. Now can we just switch to firewood? How many of you are ready to switch to firewood cooking? It's very difficult and not practical, right? So eating fruits is easy, but we can't just avoid cooked food. So in my, like if you see my Instagram or some of my YouTube videos, I have designed some method of cooking where I will use only 5% or maximum 10% of fuel. I am not avoiding complete 100% fuel, but I have reduced 80% of the fuel. So I will bring the content whatever I am using to boiling point, and then I insulate it. Don't use thermocol again to insulate the heat. Use some carbon matter, because thermocol with heat, it will release some toxic fumes which will again add in your food. So just use some cardboard and some grass. Yeah, because this was not related to that subject, I didn't brought the pictures, but you can see my Instagram and YouTube. So just keep that container which reached that boiling point and insulate it. Remaining 20 minutes, like 10 minutes on the gas, like to cook rice it will take half an hour. So 10 minutes to reach that boiling point and 20 minutes keep it inside that box, the cooking will be done. You can cook all your dal, like based on the content you are cooking, the time will vary, the procedures little bit varies. You can cook all your vegetables, dal, rice and all. Of course, there are some procedures to eliminate the toxicity from the dal, like saponins, anti-nutrients. Those you will see in my videos. But this is what is called as low carbon cooking. You are eliminating carbon emissions. You have reduced LPG gas. Suppose if you eat your food, if you eat your dinner before sunset, we can avoid electricity in our kitchen, at least minimizing, right? We can't avoid many things in the we have to be practical. It's not like 100% we can live our life in harmony with the nature. But if you are conscious, there are many ways to live in that harmony, at least starting with 10%. Like today, what you can do, the moment you go back home, we have, okay, I will show some demonstration. How many of you use sanitizers? Anyone carrying your sanitizers? Anyone volunteer, please come forward. Any volunteer? I want one volunteer, please come forward. Anyone? I would like to show some demonstration. Please, please. Please come. Yeah, please come. So you use sanitizers, right? So you feel like that is helping you to protect from virus?
Maybe during COVID I started using.
Earlier you didn't use. You were influenced, you were pressurized with your family or with the
With the
circumstances, right? But you know it is not safe.
Yeah.
You know, even the mask is not safe.
Yes.
You know it, right? Okay, we'll see. You can, this is called kinesiology. The demonstration which I am showing now, you can come this side so that they can see. So this science is called kinesiology, body kinetics. Okay, so we have certain aura around our body, energy levels. Okay, it will vary according to our thoughts, according to the dress we wear. Nowadays we are wearing synthetic fabrics, unfortunately. Everything is plastic, everything is petroleum product, right? So definitely there will be variation in the energy levels. Because our body is sophisticated, it will try to again replenish back through various sources with that inner purity or divinity. Somehow the energy will try to protect you. Again, shielding energies will come. So in this condition, according to her situation and the environment, we will try to measure her energy levels. You can just put your hand. I'll try to push your hand down. Try to resist as much as you can. Okay. So more energy. Okay, this is for calibration. You can see the expression of, you can see the pressure which I am applying. This is her energy level. Now, what we'll do is we'll not see how much energy she is having. Basically, we are trying to observe the energy difference before and after. So now just, yeah, take 1 drop of sanitizer. Yeah. Yeah. Now, hardly 2 seconds or 3 seconds, see the difference. You want to try again, or you are? Immediately the aura is getting depleted with these chemicals which we are putting. Now what we will do, okay, we'll carry some rows. She could get that energy back within an instant. Okay. So this is something called bioenzyme, which we'll be discussing. Citric. So this is made from lemon peels. We can make from mango peels or rose petals or mixed flowers. Just add little bit. Apply. See the energy. She got it back again. So, thank you. So, this demonstration itself, like we have meters also. I'll be showing some meters also. This is like personally we can experience, yeah, by seeing also we can make out. So, we have some measurements tools also called as aura scanners, where I'll be demonstrating in a while, to see our energy levels, how they get depleted when we are carrying mobile phones and other things. Yeah. So we know, like these all are this is how it's affecting us when we are using chemicals. The paints, the wall paints which we are putting on the walls, you know, the effect of that paint will remain for 10 years, 5 to 10 years. We are inhaling the toxic fumes. That is also causing asthma. One reason. Like LPG gas we have, the chemicals which we are using for mopping floors and all. And how many of you have brushed your teeth with Harpic in the morning? Nobody? Everyone. With what you have brushed your teeth? So the chemicals are same in your Harpic or your toothpaste. You can read. You all are connected to technology. Just read the chemicals. So I was talking about pathogenic bacteria and beneficial bacteria. So I am representing with some demonic character and hero character. So they are all good, doing some purpose, but relative placement. If they are placed like thorny bush, if it is placed on the fence, it is protecting. But the same thorny bush, if it is coming in between our garden, it's causing pain for us, it will prick for us. So place those species. Even in our body we have pathogenic bacteria. When we get infections, basically pathogens take over. So when we are not allowing our body to detox, right? So when there is a toxic overload, like suppose if you have to dig soil. So when you have to dig the soil, you may take 1 day. But if an experienced person dig the soil, maybe 1 to 2 feet if you have to dig the soil, experienced person who is used to that, he may take 1 hour. Okay, but if you call a JCP, it will just do in a second, right? So I correlate this JCP like Rakshasatva, like gigantic species, massive species. So they are good. They have that capability to do. Like even if you see Devatas and Rakshasas were together churning the Milky Ocean. So basically the Milky, to obtain that Amrita from that Milky Ocean, it was because to safeguard from the Rakshasatva, because they had that Sanjeevani mantra, Mruta Sanjeevani mantra. So now the Devatas were scared because they will have power. For that reason Narada Mahamuni will be advising, like that's how the churning of Milky Ocean starts. Now with alone Devatas it was not possible. So only they took help of Rakshasas. Now Devatas know that Rakshasas will deceive. They wanted to share equally, but because they know that they will deceive, they created that situation and Devatas have deceived and they didn't got that Amrita. But they have to take help of Rakshasas because of these massive structures or that potency which they have to do certain works. Okay, so they are not bad. Let them be there at their space. We will take work from them. Like suppose if you have a friend who is very much like Pailwan. Okay. So though he is very harsh to others, but because he is your friend, suppose if you are in trouble, if you just call him, will he help you? Maybe he has that Rakshasa tendency, like very cruel tendency, but with you he is friendly because you have helped him. He is very friendly. Definitely he will help you. So use the pathogenic bacteria like that. So actually the body is using the pathogenic bacteria like that only, but we are not able to understand that concept, that phenomenon. So what happens when there is toxic overload, when the white blood cells, like white blood cells will have lymphocytes, macrophages and other helper cells and all, which is helping to detox. So when we are keeping the toxic overload, so the body will allow this pathogenic bacteria which was there in negligible amount, they will trigger and they start cleaning up, they will grow. To control this pathogenic bacteria, now white blood cells has to grow or else there will be imbalance. So that's the reason when you test your blood during infections, WBC count increases. We can't actually test pathogenic test. There is no such test. We take reference from the WBC. Maybe they are there, I am not aware. So now when the toxicity is cleansed up by the pathogenic bacteria, automatically it will come down because WBC will be controlling it. Then the infection is gone, fever is gone. The purpose of fever is basically to cleanse, but we take some antibiotic to kill all the bacteria. The situation is normal now, but the root cause, the symptoms is still, situation is still there, root cause is still there, symptoms is disappeared. So again body will trigger one more type of bacteria or some other process of infection. Again the same process will happen. Every time we are trying to suppress the toxicity. So what's the purpose? Like now the body will trigger some viral program. So let me also talk about this COVID whatever situation. It's nothing new. Basically it's the program from our body which gets triggered when there are toxic overload. Since many years, since our childhood, we are listening to viral fevers during season change especially, because that is a time where the body tries to cleanse itself. Regionally there are some viral fevers, seasonally there are some viral fevers. When there are toxic load, the body tries to cleanse. That is the program which the body generates to cleanse. Now when there are no toxins, then there is no purpose of that virus program. Even if it is triggered, there is no toxicity, so it will disappear. Like that we have many infections and pathogenic bacteria and viral programs in our system which will help us. So to avoid from these situations, try to cleanse your system regularly in a right manner and live in a harmonious life, then you will not get any fever or infections. I have been working with many COVID patients past COVID time. I have been advising them not to take any medication, not to use mask, not to use sanitizers, just be in the fresh air, try to be on fruits and take rest, avoid gadgets, try to allow the body to release itself, like release the toxins itself. Immediately they were very much good, and there are many doctors also, they are advocating these practices, they do agree, but for some social norms they pretend that they are working with normal things, but they are in the background, they are helping to live in harmony only. That's how I am connected to many doctors also. Now vaccinations also, yeah, that system is profound, no doubt, but that is not only way to come out of the virus. If you inbuilt your own immunity inside, immunity will develop when there are no toxins. So every disease is basically because of toxic elimination at various levels. Now if you take a vaccination, you will get a variant because you are suppressing one. You are all computer science graduate, I think. So we can correlate with our viral programs in our computer. So if you are creating some antivirus program, so there will be new virus, variant of that virus. Again you will add some booster vaccinations, so you will be adding some upgrades. Same thing is happening inside. Why don't you correlate like that and understand? So that is not like, it's a trap again. So don't get into that trap, rather live a healthier life, harmonious life, then you will be good. So this is good versus bad. Again one more example, a knife is there to cut a vegetable and to kill a person and to save a person. The same knife is being used by a military person protecting the nation from the enemy. After warning also, if he is intruding, then he has to kill him. The same military person, if he is using that knife to kill a normal person, he will be it's a sin. So like that, relative placement. So there are 90% of beneficial bacteria and 10% harmful bacteria, but that is also, there is a purpose for it. So now they play a role to balance the ecosystem, right? That's what I've been discussing. So now we will create the beneficial bacteria in our environment. Now we have reached certain level using chemicals. Now what best we can do, we will try to understand. So the effects of all the chemicals which we are using, BHA, BHT, polyphenolic compounds, these all are chemicals which we are using in our day-to-day chemicals. So it's found in our moisturizers, like coloring dyes, it may be nail polish or toilet cleaners or everything. So everything mostly there are damaging the brain and cells and causing cancers and many other diseases. So parabens in cosmetics, especially SLS in surfactants, everything is chemical and causing some or the other problem. Especially there are some chemicals which will act like an endocrine disruptor, which is affecting our reproductive organs also, hormonal imbalance also. So these all we know, we may be hearing, we know that chemicals are bad, but unfortunately we have been using all these cancer causing chemicals. Okay, triclosans. Now it's polluting the water, soil, air, our health, and how many of you have, this is the way we are supposed to live in harmony. So bioenzymes is a solution for many of this. But before bioenzymes, suppose we need some soap for our cleansing. So what our forefathers used to use? There were no soaps earlier, maybe 50 years or 100 years back. There were no soaps. Mud, then bath powders, ubatan powder, some herbal leaves, right? Then what's the problem in using them? Why should we use soap? Now we know the harmful effect. Okay, we are reminded of the chemicals, the harmful effect of the chemicals. So first step what we can take is keep your soap away. Try to switch to your gram flour, besan flour, rice flour, jawar flour, or all the gram flours. Add some herbs into it. That's how you can use. When we use soap, we are removing the oils which are protective oils on the skin actually. So there the oil called sebum is being generated from the skin. It is protective layer. So deodorants, we don't need any deodorants. So basically the toxicity, the body odor is because of the toxins inside. When we are not allowing the toxins to come out, it is coming through skin. So I have not been using any chemicals past 7 years now. So earlier, before that, I switched from soap to soap nuts, like it's called as kunkudgaya, then shikakaya, ubatan powders. I started using them long back. Before I got connected to this bioenzymes. Then I used to use tooth powder instead of toothpaste, which has chemicals. So that's how I started when I was in ashram. Then slowly I started understanding, because my Guruji always talks about nature and living in harmony with the nature. Then I used to ponder, okay, we are talking, but practically in the modern time we are not doing. Now what is the way? That's how it started. Slowly I started understanding how our ancestors were living. Of course, I have seen my mother, even for myself during birthdays, they used to apply oil and use gram flowers. I see they don't use any soap for children, they use some besan flour. Then why don't we just adopt to that? That's how I made a shift slowly. So we have all solutions in front of our eyes in our kitchen. Yeah, it's very important to maintain the oral hygiene. I have not been brushing my teeth in past 5 years or 7 years. Not even a toothpaste or tooth powder now. But I maintain my oral hygiene. Why we have bad odor from our teeth, from our mouth? Even though we brush 3 times in a day, still we have, some of you might have bad odor from the mouth. Because there are toxicity inside the stomach. Some undigested particle portion is there. So basically, if some toxicity is retaining, accumulating, that will cause problem. Now, if there are any food particles, even if you eat a fruit, if it is stucking there, then some other bacteria will come to clean it. So, we will get bad odor. So, immediately after you eat your food, see that you squish your mouth well, see that no particles will stuck in between your teeth. And our teeth structure is not very smooth, it will have mild abrasion. So, we need to use finger to just push that particles, or use a cloth, cotton cloth, just to rub your surface. And in between teeth, if there are any particles, squish with water, it will come out. Or your tongue will not keep quiet. The moment you sit, your tongue automatically will go there. Till it comes out, the tongue will keep on pushing that. So, we have a beautiful mechanism. Or you can do oil pulling, because of that lubricant property, oil will easily push that deep stuck particles. So, these are ways to take care of your oral hygiene. So, whenever you eat food, just rinse your mouth. That is the best way. Or if you need some tooth powders, initially when you are shifting, you do not feel fresh. So, at that time, yes, you can use some tooth powders. You can use salt, but do not use salt directly. Add some oil and water, then use your finger or cloth to scrub. You can use turmeric. You can use charcoal. That is how our forefathers were using. So, now the toothpaste company has come. Why are you brushing like your teeth with salt and coal? It's take this toothpaste rather. The people who told, now they have introduced the toothpaste with salt and charcoal, right? We all know that. So, we did not use any chemicals, and basically I have seen many people, they brush their teeth for half an hour. I don't know what is there. So, with that chemicals, that foam, they keep on brushing their teeth. They feel like how much ever they brush, it will shine, nothing will shine. Rather, it will deplete more. Most of the cause for cavities, I also have cavities, because past I've been using toothpaste. So, they were old cavities. So, when you basically overuse these chemicals, we get thyroid, we get tonsils, we get cavities. All the oral problems, dental problems, is because of the chemicals only. One reason. So, we don't need anything, but when you are using some charcoal powder or coal powder, see that it's not abrasive. We have to do vastragana, like fine filtration in a cloth, or just add some oil. It will have a glazing, like after sieving, add some oil, coconut oil. It's not parachute oil again, it should be cold press oil, or little water. That will be helpful for you to remove some abrasions on the surface of the teeth. That is enough. And for your body, as we were talking, Ubutan powders, and for hair shampoo, I have not been applying oil since 3-4 years now. No shampoo, no shikkakaya, no bioenzymes also. So, I am not applying oil to my hair. Why? Because I am nourishing my body from within. So, if you apply your oil on the hair, it's not like, it's a temporary nourishment for your scalp. But if you just keep your oil and go out, it will attract all the dust. So, again it will cause dandruff and other problems. You will have hair loss, okay, because of the pollution. Now, if you have to go, then we have to take shampoo. So, I am not applying oil. Of course, I protect my hair from dust, and this is my natural helmet also. So, from heat and cold also, this is my turban. This is what our traditional practice was. So, our dharma, Sanatana dharma, all the religious practices are actually connected to the ecosystem. So, it's also protecting my energy levels, chakras and all in a higher level. But even if I go out, even if I am getting into pollution without my turban, I just wash with my water, that's it. That's enough. But yes, if you are still using oils, not a problem, but use cold press oils, don't use mineral oils, whatever companies you have. It is adulteration of, like combination of petroleum oils again with some essence, which is very harmful. Okay. So, hair fall is quite common because of detoxification. Hair fall is also one factor which will be there. I also had lot of hair fall in between in my transition in the detoxification process. Even now I have hair fall. It is natural. I don't deny it. I don't worry about it. So, old hair will go like it will deteriorate, it will fall, and new hair will come. So, that's how I see to it. But still, if you want to apply oil, use cold press oil and use natural shampoo. That would be better. So how to make natural shampoo? Now you can just soak your soap nuts. Take handful of soap nuts in water, soak overnight. Next day morning, just inch in your mixie. When you soak, it will become softer overnight. Within 8 to 10 hours, it will become softer. Inch it. You need not completely grind it. Keep inching it so that your mixie will not spoil. After few inches, then you can like make little bit paste, then squeeze in a cloth, because the soap nut will have rind and other things which will not completely, in our mixie it will not mash. You need an industrial mixers. So we need that extract, we don't need that residues. So just make a little bit paste and squeeze that liquid. Now if you apply that liquid alone, it will be drying your hair, because soap nut has a tendency, it will have saponins, it will dry your hair. So to condition your hair, you can use shikakai along with it. Similarly, soak it and mix it and squeeze that liquid. So additionally, if you want to add conditioners, you can add aloe vera, you can add soaked fenugreek seeds, you can add coconut milk, you can add rice starch. When you are cooking the starch, you can separate the rice starch. These all are conditioners. So it's very simple, but who will have time to make all these things? That is the next question. Daily you don't shampoo your hair. Once in a week or twice in a week you shampoo. So if you try to take one step, then it will be easy. We are not habituated. It should become a part of our life. It should become a routine. Then it will be easy, right? So when we don't have a habit of it, then everything will be difficult. Even applying Ubutan powder also it's difficult, because soap we can just take shower, apply soap and take shower and go. All the residues will be there, right? So for that reason only I have been researching what is the way to make a product which is accepted by a normal person. So only this bioenzymes I could get connected to. So similarly, for washing your clothes, you need not have any soap nut liquid also. Just take the soap nuts handful, tie in a socks or a cloth, just tie it and put into along with your clothes in your washing machine. Or if you are making hand wash, I prefer to hand wash, because when you put your clothes in the washing machine, that will reduce the lifespan of the fabric and there are more carbon footprints. And when you soak your clothes in the night, okay, while taking your bath, wash your clothes, okay, that is an exercise for you. You need not go to gym to do exercise. Mop your floor, wash your clothes, do some gardening, do composting. This is all exercise. It's a productive exercise. If you go to gym, you are working out, burning your calories, but no productivity. So here you get some productivity and some exercise. Yeah, yoga is again same. When you are putting your body, mind and soul there in your work, that is yoga. You need not do again any other circus. Of course, I teach yoga asanas because it's required now, but olden days there were no people in the like in the household people, they were not doing any asanas. Only Rishi Munis, they were sitting in tapasya. They don't have body movements, so they started doing all these asanas, seeing the animals and all, seeing the nature and all. But have you heard of yoga practices earlier? No, but now every colony, every lane we have a yoga center because of our sedentary lifestyles. Definitely it will help. Actual yoga is uniting with the divine, connecting to yourself. So in that, asana is only one module, one part. So when you are doing your activities, completely involving in the activities, you have the body movement, you have your breath awareness, because you are concentrating, meditating, that is meditation. You need not do separate meditation also. So now while washing clothes, what I do, I take one more bucket, I squeeze all the water into that bucket and I use that water to flush my toilet. So every time we flush the toilet, we are wasting 5 liters of the natural resource, right? So consciously I use the water resource and I use only 2 liters max to bathe. I just take shower once, then I take water under the tap. I just take water little by little. I try to scrub, massage my body. I know my meridian system, so I go along with my meridian channel. Even if you don't know, you can just scrub your body. That will open up your lymphatic system, which is very important. Lymphatic system will hold all your toxins, all the chemicals which are, like, though I am trying to live natural harmonious life, but I can't avoid these gadgets or radiations or outer chemicals, it is going. So I have to also cleanse. So that is enough. I just rub my skin, I feel fresh. Okay, because the skin pores are opening, the water is enough to push the toxins. So lymphatic system will open up and it will push the toxins out. So that's how I use hardly 2 liters of water, because water is very precious. We know we are buying water. That's what sir was telling just. So when we are conscious in using our resources, we can reduce the amount of natural resources we are using. That's how we can save. Okay, the remaining thing, yes, we need chemicals, but there are alternatives for it. So for washing clothes, I told, no, for washing utensils, right? So I educate on oil-free cooking. We need oils, but what's the point? Like, many people are using cold press oils. No, refined oils, yes. So refined oils are toxic. Now there is a lot of awareness. Okay, people who are using cold press oils, you're buying more, you're spending more money in purchasing cold press oil and again heating that oil. What's the purpose? We are taking cold press oil, spending 3 times more money to retain the nutrients, but when you heat the oil, again we are losing the nutrients and it is turning carcinogenic, because it will generate free radicals once it reaches the smoke point. So in my system of cooking methods, I don't use oil. We need fat. If you are eating fruits, you need not worry about any oils and fats, because we are getting directly prana. But when we are eating cooked food, then take that healthy fats from coconut paste, sesame paste, peanut paste, enough. You will get your healthy fats, but there are ways to cook it. Now without oil, when you eat your food on your plate, the plate is clean. You need not use any soap to cleanse, because it's not sticky. But even if you want to clean some oily stuff, you have soap nut powder, you have ash powder, you have basin flour. These all will cleanse the utensils very properly. Or we have our age old lemon peels, tamarind, like that we have pickled lemons, pickled tamarind also. Still we use them very consciously, because we make only small and we use for cleaning your brass utensils or copper utensils. Only for rare things we use, but nowadays for that also we have chemicals, that is different. So there are many solutions actually. Bioenzyme is not just a solution, but for convenience, yes, bioenzymes, we can make many solutions from it. So this was given to the world, like this bioenzymes was introduced by Dr. Ruzukan. She is doctor, environmentalist, naturalist from Thailand. So basically she had done a lot of research making wealth from waste. Okay, so if you just type her pages, you will see lot of research papers. So when you are making these bioenzymes, ozone also will be released in the environment, which will be helpful for the environment. And when you are, so initially she termed it as garbage enzyme, because this is all garbage which we put on to the garbage bin. So she started making this bioenzyme from this garbage. So she called it as garbage enzyme initially. So people didn't got connected with that term called garbage enzyme. Later a few of them have named it to bioenzyme. So I got introduced to this in my research, like in my seeking of these solutions, because I was, though I used some natural products, but to convince others, I was trying to make some formulations which are equal to the chemicals. So I have connected to many people, but everyone, they were using natural ingredients to make shampoo or soap, but in that they are adding some chemicals, like some base soap or some castle soap or something or the other. Even in internet also I was searching for some natural solutions. Now I had been to Thailand once in 2006. I was invited, our ashram was invited, so on behalf of ashram I had an opportunity to go visit there. There, my God, the lifestyle completely, they were living that eco-friendly life which we were living some percentage in my ashram when I was there. So there it may be food or living or everything, not everywhere, but the communities where I have been, So they were living their life naturally. Even outside, I have seen people eating non-vegetarian food. We are meant to eat fruits by nature. Non-vegetarian food is not meant for us, but we have adopted. That is a different subject. But though they eat non-vegetarian food, we can't even imagine to eat such non-vegetarian food which they are eating. But they eat lot of vegetables, have lot of herbal teas, though eat non-vegetarian food. That's how they are very young, healthy and energetic, and there is a lot of glow in their face. I have seen their farming practices. They were doing organic farming very past, like 2006 only I got introduced to all their works. So I didn't know about Dr. Ruzukon at that time, but I was just there for 7 days, got connected to one community. They were also like, even in our ashram we do fermentations in Ayurveda, we have a pharmacy, we make arishtas, asavas and all. So I was fortunate to be with my guru since childhood, and in 2005 I had an opportunity to go to ashram. So I got exposed to many things. So we used to make arishtas, asavas and vinegars also. For medicine we know we used to use them, but I heard through research papers or through internet that vinegars can be used for cleaning and all. So now if I ask you to use vinegar like apple cider vinegar half-liter bottle, which will cost around 300 or 400 rupees, right? If I ask you to use for mopping floor or cleaning, it's not practical, it's not feasible, right? So now this bioenzyme was nothing but vinegar, but there is a difference between vinegar which we'll come to know. So this is the garbage which we are just dumping into the garbage bin. Unfortunately, it's not being segregated at the source, and now even if anyone is segregating, there at the source, at the destination, it's all being mixed. Now if you go to Jawahar Nagar or some places where dumping yards are there, so Ramki has taken up the project of converting power from the waste. So they have designed to burn everything, right, and create power. Now, but lot of waste has been wasted. Like if you burn, you can't use it back. But waste segregation is very important. Segregating and reusing the materials are very important. Like suppose aluminium, how much aluminium we discard? With the resource of this aluminium, we can make many aeroplanes. We need not mine bauxite every time to make aeroplanes. So every time we are mining, already mining is bad, but again completely depleting our resources, that is causing earthquakes when we are mining. It is the cause for more earthquakes, imbalancing the nature ecosystem. So segregation of waste is very important. Don't throw your paper and cardboard in the dustbin. Please recycle, because to make paper we have to cut trees, and to cut trees is more effort than recycling a paper, reusing the paper. So, and don't throw your waste like garbage, vegetable peels and fruit peels or whatever food waste into your dustbin. Try to make your own compost. That is the best way. Or make your bioenzymes. We will just demonstrate now. It's very simple. Instead of throwing your waste into the dustbin, you have to just take a container, add some jaggery water and put the peels there. That's it. The remaining process microbes will do. It's as simple as that. So this is the mountain. Can you name this name? Can you name this mountain's name? Every city has this mountain. So there are many mountains. When you see closely, this is the garbage dumping yard. So this is what the present situation is. We can't even imagine going there. We have been there. We went there. We saw that facility which they are all doing. And the people who are working there, my God, very pity on them. So the smell, we can't even bear, but how they are, like, see, animals are also searching for food there. So now to make bioenzymes, it's simple. It's a 4 or 5 steps process. Use glass bottles. Plastic bottles are not good. But if you are using this plastic bottle. Now I am just telling to use glass bottle, and again I am showing plastic bottle. Here I am reusing this bottle. Now this is not food, like that is you are consuming. So when you are storing water in plastic, it will leach, and when the bottles are exposed to higher temperatures, it will leach more. Plastic has some phenolic compounds that will leach, and that is causing cancer and other problems also. So I recommend you to do bioenzymes also in mud containers and glass containers. We can do, not a problem, but initially it will be easy because there are some measures you have to take. The bottle may break. So for your convenience, I am recommending to use reused, recycled bottles, not new. Don't purchase new plastic bottle to make it. You will have at every kirana store, you will have certain bottles like this, even in your kitchen also. Only see if it is airtight. So it should have a threading lid, okay, and if you add water and reverse, it should not leak. If it's leaking, then you have to add some plastic layer and tighten it. This is first step. You have to take care and see that you can keep your hand inside, okay. So many people started making bioenzymes in this narrow bottles initially because this is very good airtight and it's available, Bisleri bottles and all, but adding and removing is very tedious work. Initially you may be enthusiastic, but later you will not have that zeal and motivation to do, because if it is more cumbersome work, you will keep it aside. It should be easy. So try to take certain bottles like this. Even you can go for 50 liter, 100 liter, like in your campus, the waste which you are generating, you can take 200 liters or even 1000 liter syntax tanks also we can make. But for you to to show the demonstration, I am just showing in this container. Always check your container for it to be airtight. So what you have to do is, this is new bottle. I want some, okay. See, I am conscious in water. So this is drinking water. Again, if I open the seal, I have to discard it, okay. So I am not using this, okay. I am carrying my own water, naturally filtered. I will talk that also. So what I will be doing, I will add water and tighten it and check for its leakage. Wait for few seconds. Sometimes there will be some air gap, and turn like this. See, it's leaking, okay. Initially we felt that it's airtight, it was not leaking, but there are few drops. So even that minute air gap will spoil your content. So always be careful. So this is the first step for you to get succeeded, okay. So what you have to do, you just cover a plastic layer. Actually, to make bioenzymes, when I introduced in 2006, in internet there were no videos or no data on it completely. So somewhere, because I went to Thailand, I got connected to their works. While researching their works, I happened to see some recipe, something called garbage enzyme in Thai language, in their language. So I used Google translators and tried to understand what they were trying to tell, and finally I made, and I have seen it's nothing but vinegar, but yeah, there is some difference I will be explaining. So it's nothing new, like basically how we pickle our lemon, mangoes and all, it's similar to that. Like how we make our vinegars, it's similar to that, fruit vinegars. So there is little difference. Now you have to just apply a plastic layer and keep it airtight. Now the magic formula to make this bioenzyme is, so this is the magic formula. So 1:3:10:15 or 20, where 20 is your container size, it should be a airtight container. So 10 is water. So for 2 liter container, you will be adding 1 liter water, 300 grams peels and 1 kg jaggery. This is the magical formula which will make this product into a vinegar, like into a bioenzyme. But it will take 3 months initially. So now when I say 3 months, Abba, who will wait for 3 months? But you just add and leave it, it will happen parallelly. Okay. So now if you want to make it fast, if you have your previous bioenzyme, add this as an inoculant, it will reduce your time for 2 months. It will happen within a month. or 20 days in an ambient conditions. So now 20 days, 1 month is better than waiting for 3 months. So rather what you can do is you can use previous, like there are many people who are selling bioenzymes, okay. So you can buy, but I recommend you to make from the scratch also one batch. Other batch, add an inoculant and make one more batch, and third one you buy for time being and use to get experienced, okay. But after your batch is ready, don't buy, because every time we buy, we will be generating new plastic bottles again it will go to landfill, there is no purpose. So we have to reduce the plastic usage also, till you, at least we are avoiding this chemicals, soaps and things which are also including plastic, transportation, carbon footprints are also there in that, but it's more harmful than this. This is much better, though we are generating little plastic initially, it's much better. Don't throw that bottles, wash and reuse that bottles again to store your bioenzymes. That's how you are not generating more plastic. So that should be way of your thinking. So now if you do for yourself without adding the culture, there is a beautiful science here. There are local microbes which I correlate them with Devi Devatas. So all these microbial species, they know your state of mind, your state of health. As I said, we are trillions of microorganisms. These all microbes try to connect with us and help us. They need an interface to connect with us through food, water, air, light, whatever you put on the skin, whatever you breathe, that's how they are entering us, that is the interface. Now when we are using chemicals, we are killing all those and we are not allowing them to enter us and help us. Now when we are making bioenzymes, all these microbial species which are there meant to help us, they come through us, like they come through this preparation, this is concoction, and when you are using for your bathing and spraying in the house, when you inhale, so the microbes also are entering inside our skin and it will be part of us, and that's how it will help. So these microbes know your financial status, your health status, your social status. Basically they try to help, all these divine elements will try to help us. So only I recommend you all to make your bioenzymes from the scratch at your place, that's very important. Or now because of that microbial, like when you start creating that environment for that microbes, all the beneficial microbes will start coming. Like how many of you have an experience of eating a curd and tasting it differently from person to person? Like if your mother makes curd, the taste will be different. If your sister makes curd, the taste will be different, right? From house to house, curd will taste different. The same curd, if it is like if you are taking milk from a cow from a farm, if you set the curd in the farm and if you get the milk, same milk into the city and set the curd, it will taste different. So every area the microbial activity will be different from person to person. The same person, when he is angry, when he is setting the curd, the taste will be different. From the state of mind when he is calm and making the curd, the taste will be different. So the microbes are very sensitive. So we have to create a terrain, like if you have a pure thought, pure intentions, those all divine elements will come through us and work through us. So if you give your body rent for all Arishad Vargas, such Rakshasas will come and take position of you, and that's how we build up our character. So don't give body rent for all these Arishad Vargas. You take position of your body, you take position of your mind, take that remote control of mind in your hand, don't give rent for others, for Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. Okay. Similarly, now microbes are there, take position of those beneficial microbes. So for that you have to create that environment. Now other thing what you can do, if you go to forest, deep forest, there if you take that soil, you will get that microbial diversity. All that beneficial microbes will be there, because we don't have this. So either make in your place which local microbes knows what your problem is, or get that inoculant from the forest, which is more diverse and more larger. Okay, these are two ways. So I have developed certain microbial cultures, the forest cultures, which I use for edible purpose. I make honey from jaggery, I make honey from dates. So instead of honey, basically honey is food for the bees. So we are stealing their food, we are killing their food. Okay, so rather I take some substrate of some sugar syrup like a jaggery or date syrup, or a fruit. I will take the juice and condense and add this microbial cultures, forest cultures, that will turn into my honey. There are various products I make. I educate, I don't sell, I educate people. You can make on your own. So like that, the same microbial cultures you can make for bioenzymes. So to fasten the process, as I said, you can add your previous inoculant, but don't add yeast. Many people online, if you see, there are videos, they recommend you to use yeast to fasten your process. Unfortunately, when you are using yeast, the microbial activity will not be consortium, like diverse. So they will dominate. So what happens in the lab, they will segregate the microbes. But here in our process, we are creating an environment, only those beneficial microbes will thrive. So we are not segregating, it's a holistic consortium bacteria. There will be pathogenic bacteria and beneficial bacteria initially in that process, but because in acidic environment, pathogenic bacteria cannot thrive. Inside the body, acidic environment, bacteria will grow, pathogenic bacteria will grow, but outside the body, acidic environment, that's why we use acids to clean and all, to avoid the pathogens. Okay, that's the logic. So instead of acid, we are using this vinegar which has a 3 pH, but difference between this vinegar and the synthetic vinegar is made from again chemicals, using some sugars as a substrate and all. Now fruit vinegars are naturally made from the fruit juices in that fermentation process, but there they will again boil and they will kill the microbial activity. You will have only chemical formulation without any life. So if you see in online or outside in the stores, there will be apple cider vinegar with mother culture. At least that will have some life. Okay, so this diversity, instead of just apple cider vinegar with mother culture, that will also solve your purpose. But when you had diversity, like among the 3 ratio peels, I recommend you to add, like suppose you have to add 300 grams of peels, add as much diversity as possible, maybe 5 grams, 10 grams of some neem leaf, 10 grams of lemon peels, 5 grams of some vegetable peels, flower peels, anything. In that 300 grams, add diversity. The more diversity, the better. So first you have to make mother culture. So to make mother culture, add diversity in that ratio, in the previous slide which I have showed. In this ratio, make first mother culture, parallelly make other batch with some inoculant you can purchase and use that culture. So if you have to add your old BE, you have to add 0.2 ratio. Then your process which will happen within 3 months will reduce to 1 month. Now what will happen technically inside is, now when you are adding this peels, this peel has some life, some microbial activity is there, but we are not able to eat this because the skin is not digested for us. Okay, any fruit peel or vegetable peels, nowadays we are eating because it will have nutrition, but it will not digest. Please don't eat any peel of the skin, any fruit or vegetable. Okay, now flowers, we use flowers for decoration or puja, then after that we will throw. Instead of throwing, either we can compost. Instead of composting, if you make this bioenzyme, it's a value addition. Okay, compost is just stopping there, it will turn into black gold, no doubt. But if you make bioenzyme, you are getting some liquid. Again, when you are using that in the room spray and for other purpose, you are value additioning the product. The residue finally will go into the compost. In that process, there will be some gas generated. So when you add the peels and water, now microbes will multiply, but there should be some food for the microbes to grow. For that only we are adding jaggery. If you are adding whole fruit, then you need not add jaggery, because fruit will have some sugars, vegetables will have some sugars, so that would be enough for the microbes to sustain. But now we are eating fruit, right? We are only discarding peels, so we are making waste to wealth. So only we are adding this jaggery in 1 ratio. Okay, so the best way, what you have to do is take a container, add 10 ratio of water, add 1 ratio jaggery, leave it. Now if you have 3 ratio peels, add it and leave it. If you don't have 3 ratio peels, suppose you are making in big quantities, I need some 30 kg of peels for that ratio, I have only 1 kg. don't worry. Instead of putting your waste into the garbage bin, add into this bin. That's it. Daily top up approximately, you need not be very accurate, approximately 3 ratio when you fill. From that time it will start. I have different formulations in this also. In my formulations I don't use even jaggery or water. Without jaggery and water also I have made certain formulations, because I was very conscious for water and resources. So I was always thinking like, is there any way to save water also? That's how I have formulated some formulations. So this it. Now what happens? Now microbes are eating food, it is generating gas. So we need to release the gas. If you are not releasing the gas, it will suffocate. The carbon dioxide will suffocate. Initially, there are people who are using valves, fermentation valves, where you can just make a hole and seal it and keep that pipe in water. The carbon dioxide will release. But initial microbial activity, it needs oxygen. So we need to give oxygen also. Any instrumentation people, like someone told me that they will design certain equipment where automatically whenever gas will come out, air will go in. So instrumentation people can create some wall, something like that, but for now I don't have that. So this easy process is just open up, carbon dioxide will go out, oxygen will go in for just 1 second. So how many days you have to do this? So initially when you are making for that 3 months process time, so you have to do for 1 month. Even in that 1 month, you have to release for first 1 week daily or 1 week to 10 days daily. After that, the gases will reduce, intensity will reduce. So in narrow bottle, the pressure will be more. So wider bottle is better, and you will be having some air space. In that ratio, you will leave certain air space. So release the gases daily for first 10 days. Then second and third week, alternate day. You need not do daily. Then fourth week, once in 3 days. So total manpower, like man time which we are putting on this is hardly like 5 seconds to open and close, like that for 15 days. Just calculate like 10 seconds for 15 days. Hardly a minute we spend. But we feel but daily we have to open. How much time? Like you have to think, like if you have to motivate yourself, do all these calculations. It's only 1 minute totally I am doing. It's only little bit I have to remember. So how you will remember? Just keep in your kitchen, like wherever you are moving, just keep on the table. So when you are doing on the table, so in that process ozone also will spread. That will absorb the radiations of the gadgets also. It will purify the air quality also. So you are getting both benefits. You are doing on time and also purifying the air with that release of ozone. So carbon dioxide will go, ozone will also come, oxygen will also go. That's how first month yeast will form. There will be a top layer, white layer. It is not bad, it is beneficial yeast. Then that yeast will be breaking down that sugars, and that will convert into alcohols. But because of microbes, because of oxygen, there are some microbes. Always in our body and in the environment, there are microbes and yeast. They are in balance, like it's masculine and feminine aspect again. So now that yeast will that microbes will take over, that will turn them into acetic acid. That's how after 3 months it will turn into acetic acid like vinegar. But industrial vinegars or fruit vinegars will not have this microbes, but in this you will have all the diversified microbes like lactic acid bacteria, acidophilus bacteria, and along with that it will have enzymes. That's why they kept as bioenzymes. So enzymes like lipase, amylase, protease, lactase, these all enzymes are basically to break down the compounds. Any stain is a composition of some carbohydrate or protein. So you need enzyme as a catalyst to break down. So this will have all those enzymes along with that beneficial bacteria. So that's how finally your product will be ready. You can filter and you can use this product for floor cleaning, toilet cleaning, room spray, body wash and all. So water, you should be dechlorinated water. So to remove chlorine, so in my YouTube videos and Instagram, you can see how to purify water naturally. RO water has been banned long back by WHO, but still we are using bottled water and RO water, which is causing again knee pains and other osteoporosis, arthritis and all. So we can purify our water naturally if it is bore water or municipal water. So municipal water has chlorine which can evaporate because it's volatile compound. Just leave your water in a container, cover with a cloth, within 3 hours chlorine gets evaporated, or pass this water through some medium which has charcoal. Charcoal also will absorb chlorine, but again all our regular filters, non-RO filters are also having plastic cartridge. Plastic is leaching into the container. For that reason I have taken mud container. Is little bit handling is difficult, so I take a steel container. Basically there are two methods in filtration. One is sedimentation and infiltration. Infiltration is water passing through layers like sand, charcoal, pebbles and all. That is one method. Sedimentation is allow the toxins, heavy particles to settle down and floating particles to float up. Middle water will be clear. The suspended particles you have to add nirmali seed, water purification seeds called challaginjalu or indupukayal in Telugu. So that seed you have to just scrub and add into the pot or a container, which will pull even plastic compounds which are there in the water. It will settle down. Fluoride compounds or chloride compounds will evaporate. You should not cover a lid, you should cover a cloth. Then sun and moon energies will structure the water. It will have natural UV rays and sanitize that water. So this is that water, naturally purified. Sedimented thing will settle down. I'll collect that water and transfer into mud container. In that I add crystals, pebbles and copper, silver, gold and all. That will enrich the water because water has memory. Now the steel property will be disappearing and it will carry all this mineral property. This is what my natural stream water like alkaline water. So I use for all my ferments this water only, but for you initially what you can do, you can just dechlorinate water by keeping, even if you use normal water it will happen, but it will slow down and the microbial quality will not be great. So dechlorinated water is very much required. And peels, as I told, for mother culture it should be diversified, fruits, flowers, leaves and all. Then for aroma, like everyone is concerned with aroma. So for aroma, try to add rose petals or mango or lemon or mosambi, which will have aroma, mint, lemongrass, that will create. So for mother culture also you can add 50% of both, or in the later products you can completely add your aromatic peels with this inoculant. That will also give you a nice product. So this is about, don't use white sugar or refined sugar. You can use either molasses or jaggery. So container specification I told. So preparations, yeah, first month you have to open, then release the gases, then it will be ready within 3 months. Don't keep under direct sunlight, keep in a little shaded area, that's it. So see, it's common logic, like if we stand directly under sunlight we will get suffocated. Same way microbes also cannot sustain that high temperatures. So there should be ambient temperature for the microbes to sustain. Things to avoid. So there are some nuts to be avoided, like suppose if you add some mango kernels, it will be taking lot of time to decompose and break down. So fine, small seeds are fine, but otherwise some nuts will release some oils and it will go rancid. So initially use only your peels, that would be better. Now if you for floor cleaner, suppose I use onion and make my floor cleaner and my room completely it will smell onion, right? So you need to avoid such pungent aromatic peels like garlic or onion. It's simple logic, but the same onion peels if I use in my shampoo it will strengthen my roots. So there it's fine. But the same garlic peels if I use as a snake repellent around the farm or the house, the snakes will not come in that territory. So what you are making, suppose if you are making this product for agriculture, you add anything, no matter what, everything is good for the soil. That will enhance the soil nourishment and also acts like a pesticide, natural pest repellent. So that's how for agriculture you can add everything. So it depends on your usage. For toilet cleaner, suppose you are using beetroot peels, for toilet cleaner you will get that red color content, but for floor cleaner it may leave some stains. So avoid certain sticky things like banana which will stick to the floor. So this is only the logic. So for what you are making, so avoid certain things. Okay. So what will happen? It will reduce the carbon footprint. So when you make with on your own, it will reduce the plastic usage. So it will reduce the waste landfills. We need not create mountains anymore. Everything will go into a cyclic order. So it will increase the microbial activity in the soil. So it will clean water bodies. Now when you use this bioenzyme, okay, when you add in the sump, okay, sump will get purified. You need not add any chemicals. Oh my god, that chemicals they add to maintain that water purity, it's very toxic. Again the body is absorbing it. First of all, there is chlorine. In spite of that, this. So instead, if you add this, chlorine gets eliminated, then all water will not form any algae and mass, and it will not smell. Your sump should be aerated, sunlight should not fall. Even rainwater also, if you want to store in sump, sunlight should not fall, it should be aerated. Then your rainwater can be stored for years together. You can drink blindly that water. So when you allow the sun to fall, algae will form, then the ecosystem will start. For that you have to maintain fish and aquatic plants, then that will become your natural pond which you can drink. But we don't have that facility, so we have to stop the sun and put this bioenzyme into your sun. So that will purify the water, maintain that order. That will, when you switch on the motor, that pipeline, the scales which will form, that will clean. Overhead tank will clean. Again from there the pipeline water is coming, the scales cladding, salt deposits and all gets cleaned. From there, when you put on your body or on for the fabrics, that will be cleaned. You are having that beneficial microbes. From there it will go to the drainage will be cleaned. From there it will go to the water bodies like lakes and rivers, that will be cleaned. So you need not do anything, just introduce this one magic formula in your life. You are doing so much for your nature. To bring something to the nature, you need not do very great things. Just make this bioenzyme and start doing. You are a great contributor. And also teach others. If you do for yourself, like for myself, it's selfish. So try to spread. Now you can just imagine the lakes. So many NGOs are working on lake purification. So if you just put bioenzyme into the lake according to that volume, it will convert your polluted lake within 1 month into a pure lake. Complete ecosystem you can bring by adding this bioenzyme. But if you again allow the drainage chemicals into it, again you have to put. Rather, if you use this bioenzyme, you need not just put, you are using this as a value, and again you are allowing that lake or pond to be purified. So like that you will be contributor for purifying your lakes and rivers, and automatically it will improve the soil quality when you are using for your terrace garden or kitchen garden or balcony garden or even in farming. So it will improve the soil quality. So the quality of fruit will be amazing, the taste of the fruit will be amazing when you add this bioenzyme, and no pest will come. Of course I don't even put any bioenzymes in my terrace garden. It will be like a forest, because there is lot of diversity. Of course I put bioenzymes, but without bioenzymes also no pest will be there. So you can feel like you are in some mountain areas, like the smell will be like that. So I have created a small forest on my terrace. So you can save money because you are making a value product from the waste, right? So you are not buying product, any other plastic generation is not happening. So I am not showing any demonstrations. Yeah, I want to demonstrate one more thing. I want one more volunteer to come forward. Yeah, sir, you can come. You wanted to come. Thanks for removing your mask. So you have your phone, mobile phone? Yes. You can keep this aside for a while. So how much energy sir has, we will try to measure. You can keep your hand, I'll try to push your hand down, try to resist as much as you can. Okay, this is for calibration. Okay, now you carry your mobile phone in the other hand. Just, it's on? Yeah, you can just keep your hand. Now see the difference. Want to try again? he could resist. Now with mobile phone, have you seen? Like, we can't leave this atom bomb in our hand, we'll use it, right? So now what we'll do, we'll just add little bioenzyme. There is one more earthing mat. Just apply. I need one more volunteer. Anyone can be ready and come forward. Yes, now see the difference. I am using 2 hands. He could still resist. You could find the difference. So when we use bioenzymes, automatically the microbial activity will create a shield from these negativity, and that's how we'll be protected. So try to use bioenzymes whenever you are working, spray in the room, mop the floor. Mosquitoes will disappear. You need not use any all out. So in fact, mosquitoes are helping us to clean the blood from the toxicity. Mosquitoes will not cause malaria. Malaria is basically a detoxification response from the body. So mosquitoes are actually triggering that activity. So mosquitoes feed on nitrogen compounds. We are completely having that urea compounds, all because we use fertilizer, chemicals, all on the skin and all. So there are a lot of toxicity. So for me, I have noticed since 7 years or more than that, mosquitoes are not biting me. Even if they come, they will just sit and go. They are not biting me. So it's not like I don't get any fever or cold or cough. I know, because still I am in the city. Even if I get, it will just disappear in a while, and I don't do anything for it. I am eating fruits since 3 years. I am 95% on raw. 5% I eat cooked vegetables. Grains hardly I avoid, like rarely I eat 1% once in a blue moon. Before that also I was maintaining like the same thing, because I follow the cooking methods and all. So this you have seen about this radiation, how they affect. Thank you. I want one more volunteer. So there is one more technique to avoid the radiations. So this is called earthing mat. Okay. So we need to be grounded. Anyone volunteer can come forward? No one? Anyone from back? You want to come and experience? అది 3 pin అది తీస్తారా, ఏది తీస్తారో చూడండి. Yeah, it will have back. Anyone? No one? No one wants to come? Please come. Keep. So this is called earthing mat. Basically, it's available online. Initially, I brought from US. So though it has carbon matter, but it has some polymers and some resins to bind. So 10% it has some chemicals. So I wanted some natural product. So you are engineers. So what I done, I have interlaced copper wires in between. Okay. So I need some conductor. For earthing, you need a better conductor, which is carbon and copper is good conductors, right? So now, instead of this synthetic mat, what I did, I used some natural fabric, copper interlaced in between. So I didn't did a like final finished product, but it's just a prototype. So now in this wire, you have phase and neutral and earthing. Okay, I have disconnected this phase and neutral. I just kept earthing pin here inside. So similarly, this product has there are some pins which has only that earthing pin, which can be kept inside your earthing socket. This is more convenient because it will fix properly, because our Indian standards has this type. So this phase and neutral are dummy, only this earthing pin is there. Okay. So actually you can create a nice product. So now, provided your earthing is proper, if earthing has to function good, it has to be kept moist. Salt and coal we add for our building earth. but it has to be kept moist. So what I do is I open up the earthing pit, I started making compost or I grow plants, because if they are growing plants you tend to put water. So you can keep moist, not trees, you can grow small plants or do compost because there is moisture in the compost. So you can utilize that space. So that's how I do. So now what I'll do, I will try to measure source energy. You can come here. You have your mobile phone? Yeah, you can keep it aside for a while. So without mobile phone, we are trying to measure the energy. Try to resist as much as you can. Put more energy. So this is for calibration. This is the amount of energy I am keeping. Now with mobile phone, you could see the difference. You can try again. He could resist. I am putting more pressure actually now. With mobile phone, you can try on yourself. He could not resist much. Now with the mobile phone, stand on this. So you need not switch your power. Basically you need that earthing, right? Now try to see the difference. With the mobile phone, he could resist. You could again this side. See the difference. So what's earthing mat is doing, basically with the mobile phone, when you measure your body voltage, there will be certain amount of current which will be there inside the body. Okay, so when you connect to earth, immediately the ground, it will, all these excess electrons, these all things will be absorbed by the earthing mat. Similarly, when you use these bioenzymes, the microbes will absorb these currents which are toxic for us, which are beyond our capacity, we are not able to handle. If they are not cleansed, if they are accumulated, then that is causing some imbalance. How many of you people have experience of having pain when you talk with mobile phone? This region will pain because we are holding. So mobile communication is connected to air element, vata. So it will increase the vata in your body. So basically any communication devices, all these gadgets, it will increase your vata. So vata will accumulate, slowly it will penetrate, and that causes rheumatism or arthritis or any joint pains and all. So we need to do yoga daily to release that vata and equip ourselves with this all things, because we can't avoid using phones, and use minimally. It's not like we have all our things and we can just indulge in this. No. Go according to the necessity, like we can't avoid. I recommend you to use the gadgets in the daytime. Don't use in the night if possible. At least 1-2 hours before you sleep. It's not like you can sleep at 12 o'clock. Try to sleep early. So try to sleep by 9 o'clock. So gadget time, if you cut off at 6 o'clock, whatever you want you can do. But in the daytime also, in between, just detox. Connect to trees, connect to nature, connect to earth. Every 1 hour when you try to cleanse, automatically we are charged. Again we can take that load on us. Like that we have to balance. Thank you. So this is one earthing mat. So you can buy online. If you take my reference, like they are also giving some discount if you want. But I don't recommend this. If you can make this natural mat, that would be more better. So this company have introduced this natural mat. So they are in process of making, but I don't know how much time it will take. But in the meantime, this is ready. Any questions? So you can reach me on my Facebook, Insta and YouTube. I'm not very good in making videos and documents, but yeah, there is lot of information. You can connect to me again also, message me. Yeah, definitely I can help you. One more interesting experiment. Any other volunteer you want to come to measure your energy levels, aura? So this is called as universal aura scanner. Any volunteer can come forward. So in the whole world, your name, sir? Vamsiraj. So he has a unique DNA in the whole entire world, right? So to get his DNA, you can just dip your saliva on for both and keep one in each. So now what we'll do, this is again some tool. Again, let me tell you, this is a dowsing concept. This will work on your mind also. Basically, it's a free flowing copper rod, L-shaped rod. Okay. So here they have designed a circuit, copper coil. When you switch on the battery, so it will create some flux. So when you keep the sample, it will magnify the signal, like he has his DNA in this, so it will amplify the signal, right? So now wherever he is, I can just see it will be moving towards him. Now you can move wherever you want. Okay. Okay. So he is this. There is a resonance because it has a sample. There is a resonance. Okay. Automatically it's going. So it's but this also influences through mind. So what we did as an experiment, out of number of people, randomly I connected. I was not there in the room. I collected some sample. Provided you have not eaten anything, because we need your saliva. You have not drink water because we need saliva. So now when I kept that sample and I pointed out, I don't know any people here. So it was showing to that particular person directly to him. It was pointing towards him. So we did with neem leaves. There were 10 neem trees. Out of 10 trees, randomly one person plucked some leaf and kept that sample here. I just have to come and catch it. So I don't know who plucked that leaf, because mind also gets influenced. So like that we have experimented on this device, and it was pointing to the same neem tree which was plucked from. So it's very unique device. But if you influence your mind, suppose I am keeping here, I am asking the machine to move towards my right, it will move towards my right. If I ask to move towards left, it will move towards my left also. So with mind also I can influence. So I am giving you clarity. You have to be neutral, non-judgmental to get a correct result, then only you will get a correct result. Or many people use such devices, initially they will show and later they will misuse. They influence their mind and they deceive you. So I am trying to be open here. So I can also do that if I have to cheat others, but I am trying to keep it open. So you have to be non-judgmental. Now I will try to measure his energy levels. You can just stand with your mobile phone. You can keep aside. So now without his mobile phone, his energy levels is this much. Okay. If it is moving full, it is complete like 100%. Now if I have to measure in distance wise, so his aura is spreading till this much. Okay, it's good. Ideally it will be approximately 1 meter, the aura will spread. Now with the mobile phone, it's not opening up. Okay, even in distance if I see, it has opened up here only. Okay. Now with bioenzyme again, you can just apply little of bioenzyme. You can smell and see how it's smelling. Good. Lemon. This is I think rose, lemon. You can also see the variations. Now with the phone, it's opening up full. And in distance also if you see, it got expanded till here. So basically we need to get connected with the life. So whatever, thank you, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, bring life into your life, bring life into your life. That's how we can be in harmony with the nature. So be conscious in your living, try not to use chemicals, live your life in coherent with the nature. When you are aware, when you are conscious, automatically every step you take you will be conscious, right? Thank you. Any other doubts you can ask me.
Any questions? Anybody wants to ask and talk to sir regarding these bioenzymes? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, as you said, it takes 2 to 3 months to get the bioenzyme. So whatever sludge that is produced after getting that bioenzyme, sludge or the deposition, do we get any deposition at the bottom?
Basically the peels get completely disintegrated, it will become fine paste.
Okay.
So that also we will be blending and we will be using for kitchen cleaning or toilet cleaning. Every part will be utilized. Even if there are any residue, that you can add in the compost.
So directly we can use it as a compost.
Yeah.
We can filter it off and use
Yeah,
it
yeah.
liquid.
So when we filter, it will be clear liquid. So the thick liquid can be used for utensil cleaning. So what I do is I take the paste and add soap nut powder. So that's how I make utensil cleaning, dishwash. I make soaps also. Like suppose I have not opened up my kazana. So this is bio salt. I make bioavailable salt. This is my soap nut liquid. Okay, infused soap nuts in flaxseed to get that slime. This is rice starch we can use for cleaning and bathing and all. Then this is mouth freshener. I used amla, triphala and all, basically as a mouth freshener. Then this is like ubatan powder. This is anyone can smell also. This is made from mint, spearmint extracts. This is again soap nut paste, like the deposit I made a paste and I use as a dishwash, as a kitchen scrub to clean your chimneys and platform. Like that everything you can make. Then I made tooth powder. I made some soap also. Like that you can make many products.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay then.
So can you tell me the process of making that biosalt?
Biosalt is simple. Basically the salt which we are consuming is inorganic, right? You all agree, like sea salt or Himalayan rock salt, whatever salt we are consuming is inorganic. So we are depleting in our gut microbes. So earlier days whatever salt we were consuming, the microbes were helping to break down and convert it into bioavailable form and absorbing inside our body. But now because we are having poor gut, that is causing B12 deficiencies and other things, and also salt, whatever salt we are consuming, it's not being absorbed. Okay, so that is causing kidney accumulation, kidney blocks, and for that BP will increase to push the toxins. These all things are happening, and since we are not getting minerals, so we are getting hormonal imbalance and other problems, thyroid and other things. Now actually we are supposed to get minerals from fruits and vegetables, which we are not. If we are cooking, we are losing that nutritive values. So only we are depending on spices and salt for taste and also for body requirement. Now there is a process called takra rishta in Ayurveda, where panchalavan is being used to mix in buttermilk and make arishta, fermentation process, and they used to add that, give that takra rishta as a medicine for many ailments. So I started using that concept, and I used, because we can't use all the salts in our daily food, so I used either Saindava lavan or unrefined sea salt, and then I need some microbial activity, and I don't advocate dairy because milk is basically for calf. Any mother will give milk for baby. So we are again stealing milk from the cow. The modern dairy is so worst, like it will take long discussion, but yeah, now because I don't advocate dairy, now Ayurveda says about milk, but that time the ethics were different. Now the modern dairy is different. Though you say A2 milk, desi cow and all, not completely. Somewhere or other we are not ethical. So okay, there are some people who are doing ethically, that is different. Now instead of dairy, what I do is I take this rice starch. So what we need, I need some substrate for that salt to mix, and I need some microbial activity. So I take rice starch, I ferment it with chili crowns, it will turn like fermented rice drink, like buttermilk. So in that I will mix salt in saturation and leave it for 7 days. That will become bioavailable salt. Or the other method is I take okra, I soak in water, I get a slime, okra slime. So in that slime it has sugars for the microbes and microbial activity will be there, lactic acid bacteria will be there. So saturate the salt and leave it for 7 days. So you can check my videos. So then it will become bioavailable salt. You can use black salt, Himalayan rock salt or sea salt, unrefined sea salt. The modern table salt is obtained by while extracting crude oil, one byproduct is salt, sodium chloride. So whatever salt we are consuming is that salt, which is very toxic for us. At least dehydrated sea salt is better for the gut microbes, but the harder salt is very much toxic for us. That is causing problem. So this is simple way. Even your pickles actually is bioavailable salt, but we can't add pickles in our food for replacing salt. So okra is very neutral in taste, rice starch is neutral in taste. So I have formulated this biosalt using these combinations.
Any more
Similarly,
questions, please?
Spices also I ferment, because spices also has anti-nutrients, because it is bark or seed which will have anti-nutrients, oxalic acids, phytic acids. So when you ferment the spices, it will break down the toxicity and it will enhance the value of that spice. So I make spices. My ginger garlic paste outside the refrigerator, it's still staying up to 7 years also, it's still fresh. Chili paste, I make biryani masala. Like that I make many things. Like if you use biosalt in your pickles, you can overcome your acidity level easily, you can comfortably enjoy your pickles. So yeah, there are lots to discuss.
Any more questions, please? Yes.
Sir, what could be the replacement of milk?
First of all, we don't need any milk. So now you will be asking, we need milk for calcium and all, but unfortunately with that milk only we are getting calcium deficiencies, osteoporosis, diabetes, asthma, psoriasis. One reason is dairy. Earlier days the ethics were different, and see, any milk has some hormones suitable for its baby. So animal hormones are different from human hormones. So even in humans, one mother will not give milk for other children unless and until it's an emergency, when there is no mother for that child. Rare case they will give, but normally they don't give. Even if the mother has twins, male and female or both males, every child has a different growth factor, different body requirements. So while you are feeding your baby, the hormones are developed according to the baby's requirement. Even if you see a cow, when the calf is coming, it will smell the calf. Okay, so instantly it will formulate certain hormones inside the milk, which will help as a growth factor for that calf and to overcome certain health issues or whatever deficiencies it has. Now when we are consuming animal milk, the hormones in that milk are not suitable for us. Apart from the natural hormones, in the modern times we inject oxytocin injection to get more milk yield. That is more toxic. And artificial insemination, it's very stress for the calf and cow, and under stress it will release cortisol hormones that is added into the milk, which is again toxic for us. And adulteration is no, like we can't just stop telling, like it will go on. Urea and melanin compounds, lot of adulterations are being added, and the processing itself, like pasteurization, homogenization itself, is completely killing the life in the milk. So whatever milk we are consuming in the modern time is basically white poison. There is lot of research on it. Now when you say, like, we have our own cattle, own farm, own cow. We are not, we are completely giving the milk to the calf and we are taking little milk. That's how we were consuming milk, but not milk. That milk, those days they were boiling for 6 to 8 hours on a low flame, latent heat, which was helping to neutralize that hormonal values, and then also they were not consuming milk. They used to curdle it to break down that hormones again further. Then they used to make buttermilk, ghee, and that's how they used to consume butter, buttermilk and ghee those days. And they were ethical. They were not torturing the calf. The cows were open grazing. So when they are open grazing, you are getting diversity grass, diversified nutrients. So now it's not happening. So artificial insemination, you are keeping in a golden prison. All the goshalas or dairies more worst. So they want to move. You should not tie them. So their dung is very toxic for it. Like they don't like to smell their own dung. So when you are leaving openly, the dung will be nourishing the soil. You need not again keep a man to pick up that dung and all. So that was the lifestyle earlier. Now we are for convenience we are doing, but that is complicating the work. Now what is the alternative for this is, first of all, we can just get all the nutrients from fruits and vegetables. But if we have a habit of eating curd, buttermilk and ice cream and all, yeah, we have plant-based alternatives. Just soak your peanuts and remove the anti-nutrients and make the milk and boil and curdle it. You can make peanut curd, cashew curd. Then with tender coconut meat, you can make coconut curd. With coconut milk, you can make buttermilk. With rice starch, again combination, you can make buttermilk. Then for ice creams, coconut, cashew, you can use, instead of sugar also, you can use jaggery or banana or some fruit sugars. Like that, there are many alternatives. So veganism is now being popularized. So they are providing you many solutions, but again, veganism is not completely talking about health. Veganism talks about plant-based stuff like avoiding animal cruelty. So in that there is a group who are focused on health as well. So they are called as plant-based nutritionist or plant-based food. So holistic plant-based food. Even in that, they are not following the process of soaking and sprouting and eliminating the toxicity in the grains. Then what to eat, like carrots, beetroot, roots should not be eaten raw. We should remove the peel and consume. Like that, there are lot of confusions. So normal person is getting confused like which to approach. So if you see my videos, I have clarified, like even if you want to eat carrot, which is not our food, to get the benefit from it, chew the carrot, remove the fiber, spit out the fiber, so that you will get the benefit of it. So when you chew, the saliva will mix well and you can absorb that nutrients well. The fibers are very complex, you can discard. Or if you want to eat fiber, have patience to eat like a cow or a cattle, chew it so thoroughly so that it will get mashed well in the mouth, then swallow it. No one has time for it, no one has patience for it. Even people started eating sprouts for healthy reasons. That will cause gastric problem and many other health issues. If you have patience, make a paste and then swallow, or chew the juice, suck the juice, remove the fiber, or just steam and eat them. That's much better. Sprouting is good, but eating raw sprouts is not healthy. So like that, dairy, if you want, have your own farm, own cattle, leave the calf, have little milk, boil it for 8 hours, curdle it, churn it before sunrise. This all follow that process. Then use that buttermilk or ghee or butter. That is ethical and also it's very much suitable for us. That's what Ayurveda also mentioned. So come back to our roots. Okay, or have your alternatives. You enjoy your curd, you enjoy your ice cream, but ice cream again you will be freezing, there is no prana in it. Don't store anything in the refrigerator. Like if you sit in, like actually I'm freezing, I'm not comfortable with this AC, but yeah, my body is helping to balance. So everyone actually not comfortable, but we are getting used to. So like that, if we sit in the refrigerator, what will happen to us? The same will happen to the fruits and vegetable, and if you are keeping cooked food, it will be more worst. So it's like eating dead food. So don't eat anything from the refrigerator, don't reheat it, don't use microwave, because refrigerator itself will release chlorofluorocarbons and microwave radiations. Don't use induction stoves, it is actually altering the properties of your food. So just think, start thinking and start taking steps. And disease, like to be healthy, yeah, it will take time. Allow the body, slowly take steps and give right inputs, allow the wrong inputs to go out, and don't expect miracles to happen within a day. How many years we have been accumulating toxins? It will take little time. It will not take that much time, but at least 1 year or few months. So slowly it's a transitioning, and at the same time you can't switch directly to a healthy food. Take steps. What you can do, start introducing fruits in your diet, but fruits should be local, seasonal, properly ripened. A fruit is a womb for the, like basically fruit is a womb for the mother tree. So basically it is nourishing the seeds inside. It is not food for us actually. So if you touch the fruit, it should come out. It may be apple or any other fruit, it should come out. So like that, suppose we have banana here. So I think no one prefer eating such bananas, right? They want clean yellow thing. That will cause obesity, indigestion, acidity and all. It should actually, the dots should come. Basically, if this is like umbilical cord, if you touch the fruit, it should come out. So it's ready, like fruit is ready to eat. Basically, the tree is offering you because it's nourishing the seed inside. When you eat a fruit, the seeds are propagating. You are helping in propagation. So like that, you need to understand how to consume fruits, which part to consume fruits. Fruit will not cause any allergy or asthma or obesity or diabetes. It's only if we are eating wrong way. So just understand how to eat a fruit. Nothing will happen. No diabetes, no obesity, no acidity, no allergies. Even if allergies are coming, sneezes are coming, that is also body's detoxification. And majority of diabetes is because of not eating, not cooking grains properly. Though we are meant to eat fruits, we are eating grains, but our forefather didn't have diabetes and all. They were cooking the grains, separating the starches, fermenting it. Basically the starches has that complex carbohydrates, so which will be broken down by fermentation process. It will get simplified and that will get digested. So no medication actually will help. You know, a person who is under diabetic medication, lifelong he will be taking medication, but he will not get any solution. In fact, he will get diabetic nephropathy, retinopathy, neuropathy because of accumulating wrong toxins inside you, and he will be always weak because you are not nourishing your cells. You are just trying to push the toxins or that sugars out, which anyway sugars are not being absorbed by the deeper cells because we have dhatus, sapta dhatus. So in the blood level or fat level, it will stop. It will not allow to go into the muscle cells. So body is actually helping to avoid that wrong cells to go inside. But we try to take some medication and try to push that sugars out, but we are not nourishing it. Rather eat right, cook right, live right. The other factor of diseases is emotions. When we suppress our emotions, then also we will get many health issues. So live holistically. So these chemicals is one level, wrong eating habits are one level, and concentrate while eating. So we see TV while watching TV, we'll eat, WhatsApp and eat. You don't know whether cockroach is sitting and mosquito is sitting, we just try to eat. And we watch TV, emotionally we will indulge in that serial or something. So inside also we have that emotions. So food will not digest well, it's not absorbed well. So that digestion will happen from the sight, from the senses. So the moment you see, the enzymes will be released inside, what to digest, what all. Like when we are not aware, we eat, it will not digest properly, again we will get hunger. First of all, we will not supply nourishment, like nutritious food. So again when we have when we are hungry, we try to eat some lace or biscuit or something. Again body will be hungry because it needs certain nutrients which we are not supplying. So we overeat. So all these wrong foods will be accumulating into fat and toxins, and that's how it will lead to certain diseases. So live your life holistically. Health is gift for us. So we all together have to help the society, nation, and we have to help each other. And we have to live healthily. So if we have to do something good for the society and for ourselves, we have to be healthy, because this body is like a vehicle where we are traveling. So we are paying rent for this body, we are not owning this body, we are taking this body as a rent, because we have to eat food, drink water, we have to nourish it. So maintain this vehicle properly. This is like a temple for the divine to sit inside. So be conscious of what you are putting inside and on the skin. Then you can be happily living. Any other doubts? Yeah, if you ask one, I'll tell 10. I'm a person who can just keep giving. And clothes, don't wear synthetic, oh my god, all these polyester synthetic fabrics. At the same time, don't put into the landfill now. Whenever you purchase new, try to get completely handmade, hand woven cotton fabrics, which is protecting your body, giving aeration and all. So again, if you discard all, and don't buy your fabrics unnecessarily, don't fill up your birwas. Buy how much ever you require. Like we will wear only one dress now, maybe 2 dresses in a day. So I wear the same fabric. I have only 6 pairs of my clothes. 3 I just kept since 1 year, I didn't even touch. I use only 3 pairs. 1 I wear, 1 I wash, one is in spare. How much I want? Because I wear same fabric. So people will not know I am wearing same fabric because it is same color. Yeah, nothing wrong in having diversity colors, but try to get naturally dyed fabrics. So don't take excess. Be minimalistic in your life. That's what our people were living our life.
Yeah, I'll take few more minutes before we leave from this closed doors to the outside world, very closer to nature. So I take this honor and privilege of proposing vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank today's legend, I should not say today's, forever legend, Shailendra sir, for educating us related to all these common issues which are very commonly observed in our life. So I really thank you a lot, sir. I am not going to tell what all we have learned because that would take some more time and keep us in closed doors. So I'm going to skip that. I would also like to thank the management and Principal Sir and Director Sir for giving us this opportunity and allowing us to interact with such eminent personalities. And before I go further, we do have our alumni, first alumni, Raghuram Sir, who is the bridge between Shailendra Sir and us and organizing this particular lecture. A big round of applause to Raghuram Sir, our first alumni of this institute. I would like to thank the heads of the CSE department, Nagini ma'am, and Humanities and Sciences, Jayashri ma'am, for extending their support in organizing this particular lecture. And my fellow coordinators, BVK madam and BV Kiran, my madam, and Sandeep Chaitanya sir. It was really a pleasure listening to you, sir, with so much amount of inputs. I can only wind up this session with just one single word after hearing so much about bioenzymes. Sir was talking about, and even the title which says Sarvam Living. So I can only wind up with one sentence. If we are in line with all what we have listened so far today, and if we are trying to implement even 1% of it, then I think we all will become the torch bearers to take this world in such a way that Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. So I would wind up with this, and thanks a lot, sir. Thanks all the faculty and the students also for taking your valuable time and spending it over here and sharing all these inputs. Thank you one and all.
And I would request you all to not to wear masks. So you are breathing your own toxic air all this while. So try to, at least for avoiding fines from police, now there is no law, I think. So even if you have to wear some mask in the for the society, wear some cotton mask where you can breathe. But mask actually will not help you. It will deteriorate your health more. You can just put your logic and think. Okay, if mask is protecting from virus, if I just put some samrani, you will get cough. How the mask is actually protecting? Virus is like smoke is very subtle than the virus, na? I don't know. But when you are able to inhale that smoke, like why not virus will come? Virus actually is coming from inside, it's not coming from outside. So try to take fresh air.
Hello, yeah, 1 minute. So we have some samples of bioenzymes if anybody want to take and try it out in your home. Okay, anyone? So we have some samples over here. You can take them and start using it.
And you can use it as an inoculant for making new
for
batch
making your your next batch, or try to, as Guruji said, that try to do from scratch one, and with whatever we have giving, okay, another batch. So that's, please start using it, and also spread this to your communities, to your families, other families, okay, and they live a chemical free life. Thank you.
Together we have to bring the change. Individually we can't bring the change.
One small input which I wanted to give is both Shailendra sir and Raghuram Rao sir, both of them, they have shifted from the software world into this world of nature. So please give them a big round of applause. Thank you.